Terrorist group Islamic State, also known as ISIS, has issued a call for attacks on major UEFA Champions League games ahead of the event's quarterfinals.
유럽축구연맹 챔피언스 리그 8강전이 곧 열릴 예정인 가운데 극단주의 테러단체 이슬람국가 IS가 경기가 벌어질 주요 경기장들에 테러 위협을 가했습니다. Tell us more.
Well, it's not good.
No.
A post was issued by ISIS is hard to say. Their de facto media outlet, which is called the Al Azim Foundation. They posted a picture that had the names of several big football stadiums. So Emirates Stadium, which is Arsenal Stadium in London, a stadium in Paris, as well as the two big stadiums in Madrid in Spain. The image had the words that said "kill them all." And it had a picture of a man holding a gun. He had all in black with a mask on. So this isn't the first time that they have ISIS and supporters of ISIS have targeted sporting events before. However, they've always done it by surprise. They've never promoted that this is something that they were planning to do.
So ESPN has reported that the Champions League will go on regardless of the terror threat, but security has been raised.
Sure,
as
as
you can
it should
imagine,
be, right.
As it should be. 네, 그래도 이제 계획대로 차질 없이 축구 경기는 열릴 예정이라고 하고요. 그러나 이제 보안을 훨씬 더 강화하겠다라고 이제 주최 측에서 얘기를 했답니다.
One of the other questions is ISIS actually preparing this, or are they just trying to send this out there to radicalize people who might like what they're saying, agree with their message, and are susceptible to their propaganda? Because that's happened before. There have been attacks by lone people, but these people were supporters of ISIS. They never actually traveled to Syria or Iraq. They lived in Europe, or they lived in other countries and then decided to attack because of the calls from ISIS's leadership.
Well, let's look at that first expression, to issue a call for something.
So if you issue a call for something, you publicly say that something should happen or that someone should do something. Sometimes, politicians will issue calls for investigations on another politician, or perhaps on a company, for example, or something.
공식적으로 무언가 발표한다는 의미가 있어요. 물론 이게 요청한다라는 뜻으로도 쓰는데 여기서는 이제 그 IS, 영어로는 ISIS라고 더 많이 하죠. 이 IS 그룹에서 이 테러 행동을 펼치겠다라고 얘기를 한 것이지 뭐 이렇게 요청을 했다기보다는 여기서는 공식적으로 발표를 했다 정도로 해석을 할 수 있을 것 같습니다. 자, 그다음에 quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals, this is in a large knockout tournament. You have this. This is the final 8 teams. Final 4 teams is the semifinals. And then when it's the final 2, it's the final.
그렇죠. 축구에서 quarterfinals라고 하면은 8강전을 얘기하고요. 그다음에 semifinals 하면 4강전, finals. Is it finals or just final?
It's both. Different countries say different things.
네, 이게 보통은 S를 많이 붙이지만 마지막 final match는 그냥 안 붙여도 될 것 같아요. 한 경기니까. 그게 이제 결승전이 되겠죠.
I think when it's a single game, we'll most likely say final. It's the final. But when it's a series, I think that's where finals comes from.
아, 그렇군요. 네. 그래서 it's math, isn't it? Quarter, final, semi-final.
Yes.
But that's how it's expressed.
That's how it works. Yeah,
네.
you always hear that. Quarterfinals.
쿼터라는 것 자체는 4분의 1인데 쿼터 파이널이라는 것은 8강전이 되겠습니다. 자, 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. Terrorist group Islamic State, also known as ISIS, has issued a call for attacks on major UEFA Champions League games ahead of the event's quarterfinals. Let's move on to the next headline.
Last month was the warmest March on record worldwide, according to the EU, the 10th month in a row to reach that feat.
유럽연합의 조사 결과 전 세계적으로 올해 3월이 역대 3월 중 가장 더웠던 것으로 나타났습니다. 이로써 전 세계 평균 기온이 10개월 연속으로 각 달 최고 평균 기온 기록을 경신하게 됐습니다. Tell us more, Ray.
Well, according to the European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service, global average temperatures recorded in March were 1.68 degrees warmer than the pre-industrial average.
Right.
So that's not good. And then for the 12-month period since April 2023, the global average was the highest ever on record, 1.58 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial average, which is between 1850 and 1900.
And this is worrisome. In fact, experts are saying it looks like we're going in this trajectory where it's just going to be the hottest month this month, the hottest month next month.
Right.
Just keep, we don't
Right.
want it to go in that direction.
No,
but-
no. And
but
the
we're going
politicians
there.
who talk about it, right, maybe they shouldn't take private jets everywhere. I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes, there is a
Might
bit of
be
an
a way
irony
to.
there.
Yes, there is, certainly.
Okay. So when we say 10 months in a row or 2 in a row, 3 in a row, what does it mean?
Consecutive, straight. So you're on the radio 5 days in a row?
4 days live.
4 days live,
Let's
yes,
do
in a
5
row.
days in a row. Yes,
right,
yes.
right.
네, 그쵸.
Consecutively, straight.
네.
Many people have to go to work 5 days in a row.
Yeah, exactly. 연속으로 뭐뭐뭐 할 때 something in a row라고 합니다. row라는 게 이렇게 일렬로 쭉 배열이 된 거를 말하거든요. 그다음에 feat라는 단어도 볼까요?
Yeah, it's kind of a strange choice of words in this sentence to talk about it being a feat that this happens, because feat is an impressive or difficult achievement, some type of accomplishment. Usually it's used when someone does something very grand.
그러네요. 보통은 이제 FEAT, feat라고 하면은 이 눈부신 업적. 그래서 긍정적인 느낌이 많이 있지만 여기서는 사실 10개월 연속 각 달이 최고 평균 기온 기록을 경신하게 된 것은 그렇게 좋은 일은 아니지만 그래도 이게 어떤 놀라운 그런 그 기록이다. 이런 느낌으로 feat를 쓴 것 같습니다. Okay, so here it is again. Last month was the warmest March on record worldwide, according to the EU. The 10th month in a row to reach that feat. And let's move on to the final headline.
The cost of attending an Ivy League school, including tuition, housing, fees, and other expenses, has been calculated to surpass $350,000 for 4 years.
학비, 주거비, 수수료 및 기타 비용을 모두 합해 미국 아이비리그 대학 4년을 다니는데 드는 돈이 35만 달러, 우리 돈으로 4억 7천만 원이 넘는 것으로 조사됐습니다.
I'm not surprised. I think maybe we should have included an Ivy League school in the U.S.
Oh.
That's what
Do
we're
you have
talking
Ivy League
about.
schools elsewhere?
No, but some people might not know
Okay,
that that's
right.
exactly what we're referring to.
Sure. Okay, so it costs obviously an astronomical amount of money, but this is including, accommodation and
Your books and
everything.
Yes, everything
Yeah.
included, right? Still,
Cool.
not surprised at the price of this. School is very, very expensive in the U.S. They're saying that the increased cost of attending an Ivy League school, though, was roughly in line with the 4% increase rate at other colleges and universities, not Ivy League schools. So they're saying yes, it is more expensive to go to an Ivy League school, but it's relatively the same as other ones. And some even jumped even more. Like, for example, Yale, Dartmouth. Those were all in the same. They're in that 4 to 4.5% range. Then they talked about demand, though, which is interesting.
Right.
Demand is still not slowing down for these Ivy League schools. Yale, Dartmouth, Penn State, they were up more than 9% in applications, even though Yale's tuition rose almost 4%. Now, one school, though, is an outlier, Harvard.
Oh, okay.
So at Harvard, applications actually fell 5%.
It fell.
Fell after quite a turbulent year. The president of the school had to resign following congressional hearings into anti-Semitism on campus and multiple allegations of plagiarism. The anti-Semitism in the United States, especially on university campuses, is out of control these days.
Anti-Semitism is discrimination against Jewish people.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
그래요. 여러 가지 이제 이슈들도 같이 언급을 해주셨지만 그래도 이제 대학 등록금 위주로 좀 요약을 해드리자면은 등록금이 일단 전반적으로 좀 오른 면도 있고요. 그럼에도 불구하고 수요가 여전히 대체적으로는 높다. 하버드를 제외하고는 대부분의 이제 아이비 리그 지원하는 학생 수가 늘었다라고 합니다.
If you're going to spend $350,000 for your kid to go to Ivy League school, just make sure they don't come out an activist.
그래요.
They come out with some knowledge in their brain,
네.
yeah, not questioning if there's 5,000 genders, which is what happens in the U.S. these days.
자, 웨이 선생님의 의견까지 잘 들었고요. 학교 다니는 거를 going to school 할 수도 있지만 여기서 attending school이라고 했습니다. Let's look at that expression.
Yeah, you attend school, you go to school.
Yeah.
You attend anything. You don't talk about attending your job though.
No.
You don't say I'm going to attend work today. No one says
attend
that.
a seminar.
Attend a seminar, yeah, you could attend the party.
Okay. 그렇죠. 참석하다의 느낌이 좀 있거든요. 그래서 attend school 여기서 나와 있고 이제 학교 다니다라는 뜻으로 그냥 attend a party도 된다고 지금 레이 선생님이 알려주셨는데 보통 이제 attend a meeting, attend a seminar 이런 식으로 많이 쓰는 것 같고 attend work는 하지 않습니다.
Attend the wedding.
그러네요. 예, 결혼식에 참석하는 거니까 attend the wedding. 자, 그다음에는 calculate.
To calculate something, I think you probably get your calculator out, don't
Yeah.
you? So when you calculate something, you try to judge the amount or the value of something using the information that you have. Usually you're using numbers.
그래요.
But you might
계산하는
use
거.
other things as well.
계산하는 것을 calculating이라고 하고요. 계산기는 calculator라고 합니다. Here's the headline again. The cost of attending an Ivy League school, including tuition, housing, fees, and other expenses, has been calculated to surpass $350,000 for 4 years. That's it for our headlines.